Hello, everyone, and welcome to the big show. This is Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. If you're a first-time listener, thank you for stopping by. My name is Josh Lilquist, and we are happy to have you with us today. Once again, I do have another good friend. He is my good pal, and yes, he is the one, and probably the only, Mr. Stockmaster, Al Connickson. Al, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I feel really good, Josh. I'm all set to go here. How about you?
I'm fired up, ready to go. And as always, another phenomenal week in the financial markets. We're always fired up. Markets are always moving. But you know what? We're going to talk about a few things about this market. From the highs, we're down roughly about 7% from the highs back in July of this summer. The dog days of summer. Well, the dog days brought the cats in town because they're bringing this market down. That is the rhyme for the day today, Al. But that's what we're going to discuss here today on Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. Online Trading Academy, on their 26th year, actually 26 years,
26
teaching
years,
people, that's almost your age, teaching people just like you how to trade, invest, how to get in the market, how to get started, but how to find smart places to park your money in all conditions. As we mentioned, the market's been dropping about 7% since the highs. We are technically in the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 still up on the year, right. But don't be so sure about that Dow. That Dow, I believe, is in negative territory now. So we're seeing some more volatility come in the market. We had unemployment claims on, Thursday. I believe they were. What were they, Al? I think
the claims they were up 207,000 up from the prior month was 205,000, but the forecast was 210,000.
Correct. Yeah.
But the
so
real
it was down
important
there.
one is on Friday. It's the unemployment or the employment report. That's what will have more of an impact on the market.
Correct. Yeah, they're forecasting 5.6%. So that's what we'll discuss here, some of the opportunities with that. We're going to look at some different stocks today and just do some analyzing on those. That way our listeners can see what we do here at the Academy. We'll talk about it here today, and we'll invite people to some investing classes that we do here locally that I teach, and Al teach these as well. Have a great time showing people how these markets actually function. But the S&P 500 on the week here, kind of a choppy week, some decent moves. They've been gapping down, going straight up, gapping up, going straight down. So some nice opportunities for income traders in the financial markets. Same thing with different stocks. Actually, a lot of the stocks are struggling these days. And actually, in one of the headlines in, the Microsoft, you can go to any of these news sources, and it says, historically cheap Dow stocks to buy hand over fist in October. So what does that tell you? That's a clue. And anytime you see clues in the markets, and they're not always telling us what we should do, they might be telling us what they want us to do.
Exactly.
And that's where today we're going to discuss supply and demand in the financial market. So Al, I want you to just real briefly explain what supply and demand is in the financial markets, and that's why we make our decisions based off those facts and not off the news, what we see on the old interweb.
Yeah. Before I go into that, let me just make another comment here. You mentioned how the Dow may be down for the year. In September, the S&P 500 was down over 5%, the NASDAQ down 4.95%, Dow is down 3.69%. But if you go back to 2021, all three of those indexes, the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P 500, were trading about where they are today.
Ooh-wee, so zero returns for people.
Yeah, but that does not mean that people didn't benefit during that time period, because as you mentioned earlier, we've had a lot of ups and downs in these markets. It has been a great market for traders. If you're a buy and hold person, you've spent the last couple of years with really no gains, and we don't know for sure what's going to happen going forward. We do know the market's going to go up. We know the market's going to go down.
Yeah.
It will, as long as it's open, there's going to be movement there.
That's funny. Someone came in and asked you, what was it last week? Hey, Al, is the market going to go up or down today? And you said yes.
Yes, absolutely it will, and that's a good thing. If the Dow is down, does that mean everybody lost money? No,
Nope.
It just means that people that knew what they were doing were taking advantage of the market in a different direction.
In the words of my good friend from Step Brothers, Dale, he said, "Yup."
Yeah, I will double that. Yep. But there are opportunities. This is a perfect time for a person who's looking at trying to take some benefit or get some benefit from the market to learn how to trade. These short-term opportunities that we're seeing, and in short term, that's a relative term. That varies from person to person. We know that there are some people that want to take advantage of these markets on a daily basis, some maybe weekly or monthly. Whatever strategy you use needs to be fine-tuned to you individually, what your goals are and what your personality, your mental makeup, sort of your emotional makeup, I should say. But you talked about supply and demand. What is supply and demand? That's really the only thing you need to know is where to identify on a price chart where supply and demand is. Demand in the financial markets is an area where there are buys, buy orders ready to become active orders, institutional buy orders. A supply zone, that's an area where there are institutional sell orders. That's what moves the market. It doesn't make any difference. I mean, we see all of these reports coming out. You'll see headlines that are really designed to get your emotions charged up and make you do something, as you mentioned, maybe that's not in your best interest. But what really never changes is the movement of price caused by big institutional buys and sells in those demand and supply zones.
Yep, and that's why we have these investing classes. We're talking about here on the radio today, but we have these investing classes here locally this next coming week. Here we have a couple of weeks. We have special classes, and we're going to really talk about how this relationship of supply and demand actually works, how it functions, why does it price go up when there's more demand, why does price go down when there's more supply, and we're going to give some real life examples so that way it's easier to understand. Because they all this jargon online, the interweb and the old tube, it shows things that confuse people, and that's what happens is people get confused. But we're seeing more and more people say, hey, you know what? I'm tired of being confused. I'm tired of being in the same box of I'm stuck in the same spot and I can't get anywhere financially. They want to do things differently. So I want to invite people to come to an investing class where we talk about these different techniques, these strategies. And these are classes where we've taught thousands just like you are many strategies which are designed to teach you to make smarter and more intelligent investing decisions. So to come into one of these classes, simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210, and this is for 2 seats. Text investing to the number 210-210. You get a text right back, and you can pick your own date by clicking the link in there. So make sure to click the link to go straight to our page, and you can pick a date that works best for you. If you like to call, if you like to do the old 90s way, you can call 952-814-4410. That's 952-814-4410, or simply just visit us at otaminn.com. Coming up next, Al, I want to get into more of this supply and demand strategy that we've been talking about, some opportunities with some different stocks coming up next, so stay tuned. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back.